Hi, my name is Jay Martin, and this is a replay from round 3 of the Huntsman Shogun tournament. And on one side is Beldon from WOC, and on the other side is Eye Opener from AG. And these guys both played some really credible opposition to get to this point. Beldon in round 1 played Rom from USSR, and in round 2 played Sun Tzu from AG also. And Eye Opener fought through Caesar of CW Clan, a good Russian player. And in the second round fought Agony Captain Flood. Not sure how to pronounce his name, but another good player. So these guys are have kind of established a little pedigree, just the wins they've been able to get in the first round. And the tournament is going great, and we're really excited to have guys like this participating. And I think the real story, if I was a newspaper writer, the real story of the first couple rounds of the tournament has been sort of the presence of Russian players. I think Russian players had 6 of the 16 players in round 3. So almost half the field, and in the quarterfinal going into it, I think they're going to have 2 or 3 of the 8 slots. So that's pretty good. We're looking at from Beldon's perspective. He's the new clan Iko Iki, and this is Eye Opener here. Let's try to see what these guys have. Great Guard and Yari Cav. Okay, Matchlock, Yari, and then some swords. So Eye Opener has a pretty balanced army. There's some bows in the middle. So he has some missile units backed up by some spears, and he has some swords for offense. And then it looks like he has a fair 4 cav. And Beldon here has a lot of warrior monks. That's supposed to be the specialty of this new clan, right? I'm not really sure. He has he's using light cav. It seems that Beldon here has not invested as heavily in light cav. He has 4 light cav, it looks like, as Eye Opener, and Eye Opener has more cav and better cav. He has 2 Great Guard, 1 Katana, and 1 Yari. Okay, so, and it doesn't look like Beldon has really any ranged units. Is that right? Am I reading that right? Yeah, I don't think Beldon has any ranged units, but a lot of warrior monks. There are no rules in this tournament, so there's no restrictions on the build that you have to bring. We are seeing a lot of, or at least I'm seeing a lot of this style of build here. A handful, I guess you call this a balanced build, right, that Eye Opener has. Some mix of matchlocks and bows to form your missile contingent, and then a fair amount of spears. And Eye Opener has more swords than I'm used to seeing. A lot of players don't bring swords at all. So Eye Opener's build seems a little more balanced, and Beldon seems to be more spamming warrior monks, which are a really good unit. If you're going to spam a unit, that's what you want to do. And we were really curious going into this tournament, the fact that there aren't any rules at the tournament, how that would affect the gameplay. You know what I mean? There are no restrictions on the build you can bring, so we were curious, you know, that kind of experimental sandbox, what players would want to do with it. I'm a little curious why Eye Opener isn't advancing with his melee troops right here, or excuse me, his missile troops right here, but they both seem content to sit around. What I think is going on is Beldon is waiting for a chance to strike, and it looks like he's making his move right now. That's actually a really good time to do it. Catch your opponent on the move, and he is moving in now. And let's see how Eye Opener responds to this. Because what happens is if you catch your opponent while they're moving, their missile troops obviously aren't shooting. So Beldon is getting some like free real estate right now. And you can see if you watch the dots, his micro, he's moving units. These units are coming around to flank here, obviously. And here comes a cav charge. It's Yari cav straight into a Yari Ashigaru. There really aren't any good targets for Eye Opener's cav because everything that Beldon has is a spear unit, essentially. That's kind of one of the little advantages of bringing a warrior monk spam, is that you have a good natural resilience to cav. And here comes light cav. The light cav are going to try to take out the matchlocks. Those are Ashigaru matchlocks, so he might do pretty well. And predictably, that cav unit routes in the middle. It looks like Beldon takes out the matchlocks there. And over here, there just seems to be a lot more of Beldon's units. Yeah, a lot more of Beldon's units. And it looks like Beldon closed the gap really, really fast, that Eye Opener wasn't able to put his ranged missile units to much use. And again, you can see Eye Opener trying really hard to find a good target for his cav, but there just doesn't seem to be one, because everything is a fucking spear unit, right? And these warrior monks are really good in melee, so I mean, they're the complete package. I mean, you know, they're obviously have a bonus against Cav, and then they're a really good melee unit, so they can take on sword units, you know, kind of at will. And it looks like Eye Opener's kind of holding the center here. He's finally able to get some good shots, but look at all these warrior monks about to crash into his rear. I don't know why that unit is stationary. That unit should be going after the general. And it looks like Eye Opener is maybe turning the center. Maybe he's beating the center a bit. It looks like there's 5 units of warrior monks coming in on the backside. They're going to cause him a lot of problems. I imagine that Katana Cav is not going to last very long versus 3 units of warrior monks. And this looks like a pretty basic Napoleon, or excuse me, we're playing Shogun. Pretty basic Shogun game. You see this pattern happen a lot. And the good news is that these guys just seem to fight an honest game, and nobody, you know, camped in the forest, nobody camped on the red line, which I'm really happy to see as one of the people helping to run the tournament. We have no rules against camping. We have no rules against using the red line, so it's nice to see 2 good players just get in there and fight it out. And that, you know, if I take anything away from, I'm watching as many of these replays as I can to try to get a feel for how players are reacting to the rule set. And by and large, it seems that the majority of players are being pretty sportsmanlike about it, which I like it, especially the players that keep advancing through the rounds. These, I mean, coincidentally, are obviously the better players in the tournament, but the better players in the tournament seem also to just kind of be respecting the spirit of the event and just getting them in there and attacking everybody. And it looks like Eye Opener is going to get routed here, and Beldon, the great Iko Iki player, is finally got him all routed away. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like that's it. So there you go. The warrior monk spam is still a really, really strong strategy. You got to find, if you're playing, you know, 1v1 matchmaking, you got to find a way to beat that. Warrior monks are really good. But anyway, thanks for both players for participating, and good game to Eye Opener there. And Beldon, I believe, is the one advancing in the tournament. This was game 1 of their match, so they played a couple of their games, and I'm not really sure, but you can check out the bracket at twreplays.com. I'll try to put a link up there so you can look at it. And I believe that Beldon advanced. Beldon won game 1 of the match here, but don't quote me on that. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, again, GG to both players, and thanks for watching. I'll check you in the next video.